Welcome, gamers, to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming. We're on episode 226. Today is February 16th. My name is Craig Perales, and joining me on this windy afternoon, Mandrew Montemayor.
Happy late Valentine's Day to all you lover boys and lover girls.
Yeah, what I said, we did take a little comfy break. We put up our most anticipated that kind of filled the gap, but over the last 2 weeks, we had Valentine's Day, which was nice. Did you do any fun plans? Did you go out to eat? Did you get anything fun?
No, we were just so busy with the baby. I did surprise my wife with some stuff and took the baby's hand and made a little painting, cute stuff or whatever,
Nice.
But nothing crazy. I don't like going out during Valentine's Day anyways because it's just so busy.
Sam got me a cool, a custom Magic the Gathering card with our faces on. I'll show it to you. I don't think I showed it to you.
Oh, I did? I think I saw the picture.
Okay. And then I got her this cool, because we do movie nights every Sunday, and I got her this cool Beauty and the Beast popcorn bucket. I had to order it from Japan, mind you. And then obviously the Super Bowl came and went. That was a lot of fun. I don't know if you went out at that at all, but I know your team didn't do as good as you thought. That was kind of it almost was a rough beating, but they came back a little bit.
We were coming back and then they really just dropped the ball. I think maybe just Drake May with just some jitters. I don't think the Seahawks were playing particularly well. We were just playing worse because there was a couple blown passes that he made. Those would have been gone. We easily, if TB12 was there, we would have won for sure. There's no doubt.
So guys, hope you guys have had a fun couple of weeks. Hope you had fun on Valentine's Day. Hopefully maybe won some cash on the Super Bowl. So with that done a little bit, guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Do it now if you can. If you want to follow us on social media, our Linktree links in the description. We have our Facebook page. We're way more active on Instagram, where we're kind of doing posts after games we beat and kind of cool things that we are finishing. And then, of course, if you want to listen to the audio-only version of the podcast, you can find us on your podcast platform of choice. So, with that being said, before we dive into our main topic, we like to do off the top, where Andrew and I take a second and talk about a couple topics that are maybe a little bit old, a little smaller news, or maybe you just hasn't crossed your news feed yet. So I just wanted to start with this, that unfortunately, even though Outer Worlds 2 just dropped, it underperformed, and it seems that there will not be a 3. This comes to us from IGN, and it says, veteran role-playing game maker Obsidian Entertainment has no plans to continue the Outer Worlds with a third game, the studio has confirmed. As part of a Bloomberg interview, Obsidian revealed that last year's Outer Worlds 2 had underperformed and a sequel is not in development. Avowed, the company's other blockbuster RPG released last year, also missed its targets, but Obsidian reportedly still has plans for more from its world of Eora, the same setting as Pillar of Eternity. On a positive note, Grounded 2, yet another 2025 launch, was a hit. But of the 3, it had the shortest, almost certainly the cheapest development period by far. Grounded 2 took just over 2 years to meet its early access launch compared to the more than 6 years required for both Avowed and the Outer Worlds 2. And there's more to say with it, but yeah, they launched 3 games within 8 months of themselves, and it was a big feat to take, and a lot of people were kind of impressed that Obsidian's hey, and if everyone dropping the ball and taking forever that they have these games coming out. But yeah, unfortunately, we both beat Avowed. It was okay. I know it has its fans, and I know as of this recording, they just did a big patch that has a lot of things in it now that you wouldn't have played day one. I wouldn't go back to it. Outer Worlds 2, Andrew beat. I haven't, and obviously Grounded 2 is doing well, but at this point, is it even worth... Should I even play it now, knowing that there's not going to be a 3? Is there still something there?
I don't know. I kind of fell off on it. I don't know why. It just felt like such a slog for me. Maybe it was just the areas. I kind of found them uninteresting versus a kind of world or area I was expecting. I really like the first one. I actually went through and 100%ed the first Outer Worlds. So I'm bummed there's not a third one because there was a lot. So maybe some things felt like a step backwards, but the combat, the weapons, there was a lot of things that felt like a step forward. Maybe on the third one you can really dial it in. And who knows, maybe it was just me that I felt like it was a slog because at that time when this came out, I think my son was only a couple months old by then. So trying to juggle a big long game versus, I can only play in spurts right now. So I'm playing for 20 minutes, an hour if I'm lucky, or staying up super late. So it's hard for me to come back to stuff like this that I was I just want to cruise through. So take my opinion with kind of a grain of salt. I know there are people who liked it, and it really does suck because at least it was something...
You'd hate to see it leave?
Yeah, it was something different. I at least liked it aesthetically and what it kind of was representing.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that there was a studio putting out a nice action kind of RPG. And I assumed they were at least going to make it to a trilogy. But yeah, they go on to say Brandon Adler says, I don't think anybody really likes 5, 6, 7 year dev cycles. And he served as the director on Outer Worlds 2, and it says they've kind of grown into that. So it's unfortunate. I mean, it's cool that they're going to fix what they can see was their problem. It's unfortunate that Outer Worlds gets the chop for being something that was so ambitious, but yet apparently nobody went out to play because they're saying it hit lower numbers. Outer Worlds 2 had reportedly underperformed significantly with estimated sales of less than 1 million units across all platforms 3 months post-launch, falling short of the 2 million units sold by its predecessor in the same time frame. So, I mean...
What is a Game Pass game? And it's so hard to tell with some of these things, like, because those numbers can be, like, so skewed, so... it's just really hard to tell, like, did it underperform sales-wise because of Game Pass, or... how many? I don't know if it showed a number like, oh, this many people bought it on PlayStation and then this from PC. So like, where is those numbers just from Xbox? But again, it was on everything else too. So
yeah. So that's the first topic. It's unfortunate Outer Worlds is gone. I might go back and finish it, I guess. But at this point,
I would say for you, I would just go through and do 2.
Because I remember 1 being kind of quick. If you're saying number 2 is kind of that much more of a slog.
I felt maybe it was just towards the end that I felt that way, but again, I have a kid, so I wasn't able to commit that time. That it was just so much like
more sessions.
Okay, what am I doing? Like I'm kind of lost right now because I'm coming back after not playing for like 3 days.
Feel ya. So guys, leave your thoughts down below if you're gonna miss the Outer Worlds 3 or lack thereof. With that being said, guys, our other off the top story is that the game of the year, Baldur's Gate 3, is reportedly in talks for a TV show. HBO is developing Baldur's Gate, a drama series based on Wizards of the Coast video game franchise with Mazin attached to create, write, executive produce, and showrun the TV adaptation. He, of course, is from The Last of Us. Also exec producing are Jacqueline Lesko, Cecil Connor, and Hasbro Entertainment, Gabriel Morano. Chris Perkins, the former longtime head of story at Hasbro subsidiary Wizards of the Coast, which is behind the D&D universe, will also serve as a consultant. I'm sorry, I guess I missed this first part. Yeah, Craig Mazin, co-creator of arguably the most acclaimed TV adaptation of the video game Last of Us, will be taking on another huge popular and acclaimed game title, Baldur's Gate 3, which apparently is taking place right after the video game. So it's not going to be an adaptation like The Last of Us is. I mean, I don't know if you'll have to actually play Baldur's Gate 3, but it's going to be a continuation of the story, which is kind of cool because unfortunately with Mazin, he actually did a really good job at The Last of Us, but Season 1 it was great. 2 obviously kind of fell off, and now they're saying that after they do Season 3, because remember they had plans to do like Season 4, Season 5, it seems that that's kind of over, and this is where his attention is going to go. So I think it's really cool that he's going to be attached to it, and it's really cool that it's going to be following that game, and it's putting D&D back on the map, because as good as the movie was, not a lot of people saw it. So I'm curious of how much more gamers might watch this show the same way they did with Fallout, same way they did with Last of Us. So this could be a big boon for the game. You excited at all?
No. I haven't even played Baldur's Gate, maybe that's why, but I can imagine, like, I just don't think everything needs a show, and just because something is good, but I don't feel like it was, like, maybe when The Last of Us came out, it's considered, like, a cultural phenomenon, and this just isn't it. Like, yeah, it was Game of the Year, so does that mean it deserves to have, like, a TV show? I'm sure there's people that loves it, but to me, it's just kind of whatever, you know?
Kind of. I mean, with that being said, there's Horizon coming out, there's God of War coming out.
I don't think Horizon needs one.
Who says Fallout deserved one? But
Fallout's amazing, though.
Fallout is fantastic. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But, yeah, it says, telling a story that takes place immediately after the events of Baldur's Gate 3, as the characters old and new are dealing with the ramifications of the events of the third game. I'm just curious of going, because it's kind of like the Metal Gear Solid thing. It's like, in the game, there's certain characters you never pick up, certain characters that might die in your game versus mine. So this will kind of make a canon timeline, right, of who's actually going to be alive. And then, do you get some people that were the voice actors? You know, do you find people that look like them to play them in the show? So I'm actually really excited for it, and I think they've got a good team to do it so far. So
I'll check it out.
Yeah, keep your eye open for that, guys. So with that out of the way, guys, let's get into our main topic, and that is that a brand new State of Play just launched. It came out on Thursday. It had over 30 games shown. It was over an hour. It showed off first-party, third-party, multi-platform title. Before we dive into it, I mean, Well, I guess you want to save thoughts for the end, or is there anything you want to mention before we start talking about the games?
No, we can just jump into it if you'd like, and then maybe kind of round back to
that works. So I'm going to follow the list that IGN kind of has out, and we'll kind of hit the bullet points and we'll pause and talk about the games that kind of catch our eye, and we'll kind of brush over some of the games that maybe don't need as much love or as much conversation as some of the other titles do. So with that being said, IGN starts us off with the fact that God of War Sons of Sparta, which is a side-scrolling spin-off, it actually shadow dropped today, and the release of the God of War trilogy remake was announced. So Sony State of Play had confirmation that God of War trilogy remake and the surprise shadow drop of Sons of Sparta. Now, it dropped today. It launched at $29.99. It's a 2D side-scroller. I don't think it looked that great when I was first watching it during the State of Play.
It did not.
But I picked it up because me and Shien share PlayStation. So for it was like $30. So for $15, I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. So far, it's actually pretty good. Like the mechanics, the moving around, what you can do. I'm not that far into it. I maybe put an hour and a half into it. But it's nice to see that T.C. Carson, who's the original voice of Kratos from the God of War remake, or from the original God of War trilogy, he's actually doing the voice of it. So it's nice to hear at least his voice coming back. But I like that we're getting these more, because it is a Metroidvania type game. So, I mean, I don't know if God of War was the right project, and I'll know more maybe next week if I can beat it by then. But so far, if you were on the fence of it because of the way it looked, the game is playing quite nice.
I like that they brought in T.C. Carson, and I was pretty interested in the God of War trilogy remake because I'm not a big fan of the new one, and it's nothing against the game because it's beautiful and obviously there are people who love it, so I'm in the minority. But I just don't really care for like Norse mythology. To me, I don't know why, I just find it like boring. I just could not get into it.
I love Greek mythology.
Greek mythology to me is just it's just so much better that gets me more excited than that.
Yeah, people were talking about the remake. Is it going to be something that's like a Final Fantasy VII remake, or are they just taking it from in a new engine and rebuilding it from the ground up?
Do you mean gameplay-wise, or do you mean they're going to take one game and it's going to be 3 games, and so it's going to be 9 to cover the trilogy? But no, that would be super interesting. Like, are you going to make it just that same kind of... The old one's really more almost like Devil May Cry, like just that over-the-top action, whereas the new one's
but
like
also, they had stuck cameras and stuff like that, too. So, do you give it the new kind of treatment, not that it would be weird at all. It's just, is Santa Monica, because Santa Monica is doing this. So, it's like, is this the next project you're going to be doing, is remaking the trilogy, which I'm excited for, and I'll definitely play, but it definitely needs to be, there needs to be some heavy overhaul.
I feel like this would be something that maybe not have Santa Monica do because their time is better spent elsewhere. As good as this could be, this could probably fall to someone like Blue Point, who did like the Demon Souls like remake. Even though some people like love it or hate it, they was at least faithful gameplay wise. They could easily do something like this.
Excellent. So that's anything else on God of War?
No. There's no timeline for it. They said it's just barely getting started, so we probably won't hear about this for a long time.
Yeah. The other game is out. The next one probably won't be out for another 2 years. Probably. Yeah, it looks like they were just getting started because the trailer was just a splash screen of the logo. So the next thing they have on their list is Castlevania Belmont's Curse, which is a new 2D Castlevania game that was announced in celebration of Castlevania's 40th anniversary. Konami has announced Belmont's Curse. This game is from Evil Empire and Motion Twin, a stylized 2D game that is set to be released in 2026. This seems to be the one everyone's been waiting for that looks like Symphony of the Night. It looks fantastic. The graphics look gorgeous. What were your thoughts on it?
I love this. This is my game of the show. Definitely my most surprise game. I like that during the show they had this fell... Something I didn't think I'd see. This fell in between the block of there was a whole Konami section, so it was really cool to see. It's again, it's like 2.5D. It's made by Motion Twin and Evil Empire, which did Dead Cells, and they also I don't know if it was last year or the year before that. They had a Castlevania pack for Dead Cells. I remember covering it on the show. They did the musical. This was just the obvious partnership for them to do. I believe they said that this one, they didn't drop too many details about it. Takes place around the first 3 sometime, set in France. And it says Trevor and I think a descendant.
Yeah,
so
which is a female.
It looks like a female.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, that looks like a girl to me.
Yeah, I'm saying it looks like a girl to me, which would be a first, which would be really cool. That was the one I was most interested in. I'm super excited for it. This one seems to be more along that Metroidvania style versus Castlevania really has kind of three options. There's the Metroidvania, just a side scroller, and then like the 3D. I would love to see another big 3D one, or maybe remake one of the old ones or something. But either way, I'm super excited they're actually just doing something with this.
Yeah, it says it's going to be the 26th installment. Protagonist from Trevor Belmont. Game set in France in the year 1499, 23 years after the events of Castlevania 3. The protagonist is armed with the Belmont family's holy whip. Vampire killer explores adventures to the city of Paris while fighting monsters similar to Super Castlevania 4. So yeah, everything on her swinging with her whip as like the rope and getting to different places looked really cool. So super excited for this game. I could see it, Andrew, being a game of the year for him.
Super excited.
The next game, which was the biggest one that caught my eye, was Kena Scars of Cosmora, which actually started the state of play, and this is a sequel to 2021 Kena's Bridge of Spies, and it kicked it off, let's see, in a big way with some gorgeous visuals and animations from the developer Ember Lab. In this new story, Kena is an accomplished spirit guide, and she travels to the mysterious island of Cosmora to seek a cure for her affliction and to reconnect with a friend from her past. When there, she faces a corruption and fractures her staff, and she needs to accept Cosmora's forgotten and dangerous form of spirit guiding that manipulates the elements. And yes, she'll be meeting more adorable spirit companions. It was in my top 5 for games for 2021. And don't let the Pixar look fool you, because this game looked gorgeous. I thought they opened it up quite nicely, because
strong start.
I was seeing a lot of people going, oh, this will be an easy game. It's for the kids and stuff. And if I remember right, that first game, man, had some pretty hard difficulty spikes. I'm sure you could put it on easy, but the game wasn't just a walk through the park. So as nice as it looks, it's not something that's just going to be an easy run through, like maybe a Mario game might, you see a new Mario game, you're like, how hard can it be? But, yeah, lots of puzzles, lots of adventure solving, cool abilities. So I'm glad, because me and Andrew were talking off camera that the last one started off as a PS5 exclusive and eventually I believe went to Xbox.
I think this last year.
Yeah, this one starts as a PS5 exclusive as well, but it will be out 2026. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it looked really good. Super good start to the show. This game kind of reminds me of maybe like Ocarina of Time vibes. Obviously not as greatest of all time, but just that feeling you had when you played, like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, those classic, just 3D areas versus what Zelda is now, this big open thing. So I'm like, I would love, even for Zelda or just something like that, it's nice to see something take a step back and create something like a little more controlled and maybe not this big open, chasing just these big open worlds,
Big open world. So yeah, that game looked great. The next thing they have on their list is Saber Interactive announces a new John Wick game. Keanu Reeves is back, or at least his likeness is. Saber's design will be faithful to the unique style and signature elements of the series, including a distinct gun fu combat system, jaw-dropping camera work, immersive driving experiences, and a variety of memorable environments, all crafted to make players feel like they are in a John Wick movie, playing the role of John Wick himself. Yeah, I think it looks really cool. Obviously, the first half of it was kind of more trailer. I think you get a little bit of gameplay towards the end. I mean, we've got the show that came out. We got the spin-off movie, which was great. A game is cool. I'm just curious if maybe it's a little too late in the John Wick's lifetime. Or
I wrote that down too. That was my exact thing. It's like, I wonder. It sounds cool, and I would definitely try it. But it hasn't missed the mark because John Wick stories already told 1 through 4. Then they took the break and they had the show that I know didn't kind of really take off. The last movie I personally liked.
I loved it. I watched it, I think, a little after you, but yeah, I ended up loving it. And I just don't know if it's like, you don't want to take the mystique out of John Wick, but it's like, I still want to know how he's so badass. And some of the things I was looking at online was like, is the combat going to be more improvisational? Because in a lot of it's grabbing a frying pan, grabbing a pool stick and stuff like that. So I wonder if those are going to be maybe more cutscenes, or do you think you'll be able to walk around an environment and kind of grab this here and that and do moves?
I think it'll probably be more context moving around like that. Do you have any hopes for maybe where you think this takes place?
I'm going to guess I'm hoping it's in the movie when they said the reason our empire is built is because we sent them on an impossible task. If the game's the impossible task, I think that'd be kind of cool.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for, too.
He looks a little younger, right?
Yeah, I would hope for something, even if it's not that, just maybe him building up that legend.
Yeah.
There's just something set before 1. Yeah. I don't really need it to fit in between the movie narratives or anything like that.
Yeah, I agreed it's a prequel, though, right? Most likely? Okay. The next thing we have on the list is Metal Gear Solid, the Master Collection Volume 2, which finally frees Metal Gear Solid 4 from the PS3 with an August release date. I think it's great hype. It's coming right off of Delta. It's bringing remasters of MGS4, Guns of the Patriots, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel to PS5 on August 27th, 2026. Now, if you can buy it for $50, or you can buy the 2 games a la carte for $30, but the $50 gets you all 3 of them. And I guess what they didn't really show is the Metal Gear Solid game, Ghost Babel, was a Game Boy Color game, something like that. So
it's a handheld.
Yeah, it's a really nice price to get kind of, for a couple extra, or 20 more bucks, you get the full package. I know you're super into Metal Gear. I'm sure Metal Gear Solid 4 is one you never got a chance to play.
No, I did not have a PS3, so this would be something big. I didn't go for the first collection, which they did say afterwards. They put out like an update for like graphics, frame rate, and everything for the first one. Because even on Xbox now, you can play Metal Gear Solid 1. So this is something that would be super cool to play. Because I know people kind of crap on Guns of the Patriots sometimes being more like just taking the cutscenes galore and just being a lot longer than some of the other games. But either way, I would just love to finish out that story. And important to note, I don't know if it's still going on, but they did have a big Konami sale going on too. So even I think the Metal Gear Solid Delta, the new one, which is the remake of 3, Snake Eater, I think was like 50% off. And I actually had a really good time playing that. I loved going back and playing that game. So definitely get out there and check some of those out. I'm super excited to try this too. Like I said, Konami put out some bangers on this.
Konami's in rare form, and it seems like they're getting back into putting games front and foremost. And again, obviously they have other things to do, but they're putting out a lot of good stuff. And I think they have maybe a couple more that we'll get into. But yeah, kudos for Konami, man.
Yeah, it took them a while, but I'm glad to see them like getting back in there because they do have some like really, really good IP.
Anything else on the Metal Gear?
No.
The next on the list that they showed off that I want to point out is Ghost of Yotei Legends. The DLC will add a 4-player co-op to the game early in March. I just wanted to point this out of what you actually get to play. In Ghost of Yotei Legends, you can play as one of 4 classes: the Samurai, the Archer, Mercenary, or the Shinobi. While any class can use a katana and ranged weapon, they also excel in a different one of Ghost of Yotei's weapon and combat system, and can each learn their own unique armor cosmetics as you complete feats through gameplay. The Samurai can wield the Odachi and has access to the widest range of weapon types. The Archer can use the Yari, which is a spear, as well as carry an additional ranged weapon. The Mercenary has access to dual katana with a variety of utility-focused abilities, and the Shinobi can use the Kusurigama, as well as a suite of stealth-focused skills. Now, what's cool about this is obviously Ghost of Tsushima did that too. They brought in Legends, which was the multiplayer, a little bit after the game of the release as free DLC. Nobody really saw it coming, and everyone was really surprised as well as happy that it came. It actually did quite well, so it's really nice to see that Yotei is going to be doing the same thing. I've actually played it, and it gets people back to playing Ghost. Not only if you maybe haven't played it in a while, but if you haven't got it at all, at least now you'll get the full package. So Tsushima, I remember playing it. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to my boy Matt Huffman. He's the one that got me into play it, and we were playing it for hours. So not that it's a lot because we kind of expected it, but to see Yotei come out and give a free multiplayer, again, free piece of DLC, right. It's really nice to see PlayStation do.
Yeah, that's really cool, especially just to let them kind of, it's cool to see a lot of people do just different free-range things that aren't just like, okay, well, here's just our bread and butter, and that's what we're going to do. They have this, there's that other Horizon game. Like, FromSoft just did Night Rain, which is like that weird kind of battle royale style where the arena's closing, which I love. It's just nice to see other people kind of pushing the boundaries of like, okay, well, I know we're known for this. Let's try out some like other stuff.
Yeah, especially because back in the day when everything was having a multiplayer, like Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, so that Metal Gear, but that kind of died off. It's nice to see not as many things take that swing, but the ones that do seem to be well liked.
At least hitting, yeah.
Yeah. The next thing they have on the list is Resident Evil Requiem. Obviously, this trailer showed, I think, probably a bit more than people wanted to see. Not too much to dive into. They've already shown this game plenty. I don't know how much more there is to say about it. It comes out February 27th, 2026. Andrew, this is your cup of tea. Was there anything you wanted to say about it, or have we seen enough?
No, I'm super excited. I kind of actually fast forwarded through this section because I don't want to see any more.
Because there was 2 spoilers in it, so I'll leave it out.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see any more of this game. I've seen more than enough, and so I was like, okay, I'll kind of skip this and something else, I don't know if you bring it up in there. Do you have Pragmata in there anywhere?
No, I was going to let you talk about Pragmata.
Oh, okay. That's another thing that I kind of skipped too. I'll talk about that later with something else, but they had another part of that in here. And I'm like, okay, I don't really want to see anymore because I feel like I've seen enough of this game.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that. The next thing they have on the list was Soros, which had a 3-minute deep dive trailer. We won't dive into too much of that. As of right now, it's set to come out on April 30th. They did do a lot of showing the fast travel system, a lot of being able how to level up, how to really customize the character, how to get him back into combat. This is obviously Housemarque's next game after Returnal. Returnal wasn't a game I dove into, even though now I know it's got a lot more updates. This game does look really cool, and I think this time around I might actually dive into it. Is there anything else on Saros that looked interesting?
I'll come over and I'll probably try it with you, but I don't know. For whatever reason, this game just does not grab me. I'm just, I'm sleeping.
The next thing they have is Marathon, which had a pretty big trailer as well. It reaffirms its March release date with a February server slam. So the server slam will take place from February 26th through March 2nd. This is obviously the big extraction shooter from Bungie. It's a PvP mixed with PvE. There's 6 3-player teams, but you can also do solo and duo. This isn't my cup of tea. I don't play extraction shooters. It will be cross-platform, even though it's a Sony first party. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to this. It looks cool, but for me, it's nothing I'm interested in. As somebody that plays more games like this, is Marathon on your radar at all?
It wasn't. I'm stoked to at least try it out first. I'm glad they're doing a server slam. I personally think this game looks kind of ugly. This is something that I think is the most interesting thing coming out this year. Not because it could be good or not good, but there's just been so much bad noise about this game, from stolen assets, from the art, how it plays, Sony not being happy with how the game's coming along, and it just seems like ever since they acquired Bungie, it's just been kind of bad news, just all kinds of stuff that
they really need to sort.
This game needs to do something. So I'm at least stoked to try it. So the fact that they're having at least an open server thing, I know other people have played this a while ago because they did have closed betas, but I think a server slam will at least, for sure, I'm at least going to try it. Get people in there that are I'm really on the fence about this. I don't know that I care about it at all. That if it does turn out to be good and at least get me a little bit, then I'm in for it. The only other extraction shooter I guess I played would be Arc Raiders would be the super big one to compete with. And I have fun playing it, but I'm not playing it by myself.
Doesn't do anything with extraction?
No, they have it's Battle Royale, the Red Sect.
Oh, gotcha. Nice, yeah. So it comes out on March 5th, and then the server slam will take place February 26th through March 2nd. Next on the list is Control Resonant, which showed off extended gameplay. Not much more to say about this. We talked about it in our anticipated games. It was definitely on my list. I liked it. It showed a lot more of the different abilities, like the gravity warping and him jumping between different walls and things like that. But other than that, I mean, there's not much more to say that I'm going to play it. And
I think for me at first, when I first saw it, I was not as excited about this game as you, and I was it's cool to see a second one, but I'm not super diehard about it. I'm But once I saw this trailer, for whatever reason, just really did it for me. I'm okay, cool. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because it seemed like the gameplay was a little bit faster because he's using more the sword than the big axe or hammer or whatever it is that he's using before. I'm okay, I'm in. This looks good. I'm super stoked now.
Nice. I'll make sure I add a trailer for that so people can check it out. The next one we have on the list is 007 First Light. The story trailer had a cinematic. Again, this game's been shown a lot. Not much more to say outside of the story. So if you're interested in it, definitely check it out. It's got a 1:37 trailer. And then again, stop me if there's anything you want to go.
Yeah, no, I'll jump in.
Beast of Reincarnation. We already saw that on the Xbox Direct. We talked about that on our show, so that looks good. They confirmed the date though to be August 4th of 2026. So again, everything they've been pumping out so far, a lot of things coming out 2026. So people are eating good. The next game they have coming out is Rev Noir, which is a new RPG from Konami set in a world shrouded in Lightfall. This is a new JRPG. It looked really cool. I don't know it wasn't that long of a trailer. Was there anything you wanted to say about it?
It looks a little anime sloppish for me, but I'm definitely going to be in there. With Konami at least doing all this stuff now, I'm okay, I've just got to jump in and see it.
Nice, yeah. The next one that did catch my eye was Star Wars Galactic Racer, which the trailer confirms the return of another Phantom Menace character. And it says, it gave us a look and even confirmed that Ben Quadanero survived the events of Phantom Menace and will be part of the new racing league. This new racer is set to be released later this year, just to kind of show what it had. This one's actually going to have a single-player campaign and a multiplayer mode. In the online multiplayer mode, up to 12 players can participate in a race. A ranking system is planned for the multiplayer mode. There's also an arcade mode, which includes time trials and races with other objectives. I thought this actually looked pretty clean, man. I was watching the trailer. It looked pretty badass. So I don't play a ton of racers, but if this game isn't $70 if it's a cheaper game, I think I'd definitely like to check it out.
I like that they're at least just throwing in the story. They could have easily just made a racer and been like, okay, here's the levels, here's your people, and you kind of do whatever. I thought the story actually looked pretty mode. Yeah, it looked pretty interesting.
He's like, I'll throw you in Carbonite if they weren't holding me back.
Because it looked a little, at first I'm like, at first I was like, is this the same game? And I was like, or is this a different? I'm like, no, this is the racer. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of weird that they're doing a story, but I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for it. And I think Star Wars doesn't need to always make a Jedi game. It's nice to see something that's a racing game. So I'm excited for it. I mean, it's set in the same timeline, but what can you do about that? The next game they have on their list is Neva Prologue teases more of the first adventure between Alba and Neva. This was a game that's set to arrive on the PS5 on February 19th. So that's actually just going to be in a couple days. They had more of a trailer with Alba and the White Wolf Cub. It looked pretty good. I'm really getting into those games that are kind of, side scrollers. But anything else to catch your eye at all?
Nah, I was kind of sleeping on this one.
Sleeping. I know this one's more what you've been waiting on. Mina the Hollower gets a gameplay trailer and a demo. So if you were interested in checking it out, you can. And the demo you can still play on February 13th. So I guess that's already out. And they actually did set a time window. So your most anticipated game does work from last week because it's set to come out on spring of 2026. Did it show up anything else you were more excited for?
No. I think what I was most excited about is if you look at it a little bit more, even though it is a PS5 exclusive demo, is that the demo data carries over, which is usually indicative of a game coming out very soon. So I am super excited for this game. For anybody who has any sort of fondness or love for the Game Boy Advance era games, just looking at this, you can just tell, this is it. So I'm super excited to play this.
I showed it to Sam, and I remember, I'm like, yeah, this is the game that Andrew's really, when we were watching the other video, and I'm like, yeah, I like that Andrew goes back to some of these, old school kind of looking games. So, excuse me. Next on the list they have is, you can defend against an alien threat in the game For Loop, which is an upcoming tactical 4-player co-op shooter that combines alien technology and human ingenuity. This game looks okay. Nothing about it caught my eye. Was there anything about it that... Are you going to jump into it with your cousins and brothers?
No, I think we've talked about this one before. I think this is just one of those, when PlayStation's trying all these games as a service, that this one it does not connect for me.
It is not connecting. And then next, Pragmata shows off more of its world and its story. Learn more about the near future world and story of Pragmata, which stars Hugh and his android companion Diana, who must work as a team to survive. Pragmata will be released April 25th, 2026. Dude, another game that's right around the corner. You said you had something you want to add on it?
Just for later.
Save it for the end?
Yeah, I'll save it for the end.
So again, we've seen lots of this game. It's coming out right around the corner, looking good. Next, Death Stranding 2 coming to PC early next month. So anything on that?
Nah.
So if you're on PC, that'll be out March 19th. 2026. Marvel Token Fighting Souls release date. New X-Men characters announced. This game does look really good, and it's going to be released on PS5 and PC on August 6th. And it was confirmed that Wolverine, Storm, Magic, and Danger will join the roster as the Unbreakable X-Men. I mean, I don't play a lot of fighting games, but yeah, it looked really nice. Anything you want to add on that?
No, that game looks beautiful. That was such a good trailer for that.
Yeah, that studio does a really good job, and it's really cool that they're able to take something like Marvel, add that Japanese flair on it, and look as cool as it is. Because I know one of the things they were saying is that the production began with the goal of incorporating a system that was approachable for newcomers to the genre, but with depth that satisfied the game's potential for competitive play. The game's roster accommodates arc system, works variety of gameplay archetypes, compromising major Marvel characters and obscure selections that have not appeared in previous Marvel fighting games. So I'm glad that they're able to take some liberties and add what they do best to a brand new looking Marvel fighting game.
I think too, but when the trailer first came up, because it didn't say Marvel Token or anything like that, I think it starts with Storm or something. I was like, oh, cool, a new X-Men game or something like that. I was like, oh, it's a fighting game, but either way, it still looks super good.
Yeah, it looks clean. After that, we have Rayman, the 30th anniversary edition, and it launches tomorrow. So by the time you're hearing it, it should definitely be out. I'm a big fan of Rayman. I don't think there's really much more to say about it, though. Celebrating its 30th birthday in styles, Ubisoft has already released the definitive edition for the first entry in the franchise. So, hey, looks pretty good.
Ubisoft didn't cancel something and put it out. All right, guys.
This one did look interesting, though. The next one is PUBG publisher Krafton finally reveals Project Windless, an ambitious open-world action RPG from Ubisoft's former Far Cry director. This one I do want to take a second. Project Windless is a new game that is set in the universe of the acclaimed Korean fantasy novel series The Bird That Drinks Tears. This is a single-player open-world action RPG that players will become a mighty Reckon warrior and journey across the breathtaking war-torn world. Now, they obviously looked like it had some Souls-like stuff. It says it features intense stamina-based combat reminiscent of Souls-like games, but at the same time, it looked like some Dynasty Warriors where you're out there clearing a lot of big waves of enemies. So I do like that Sony is kind of pairing up more, because obviously a lot of people were saying it looks like Black Myth Wukong that we had from China, where you're playing the ape or the monkey, and then now we have this game coming from Korea where you're going to play a big cock. But I thought it looked pretty cool. Or do you think it was? Do you think it's jokey, or is this game supposed to be something that is on par with like a Black Myth Wukong?
I wouldn't mind if it's like jokey, anyways, because I do like some stuff in that style, like Kung Fu Hustle. Like I love Kung Fu Hustle. So if it was something along the lines of like that with this gameplay, like I'm all for it. Like I actually thought it looked really cool, really interesting. It was just super different too. Something I never would have thought in a million years. I'm like, oh wow, okay. Yeah. So I never even heard of like the book series either. I'm like, it's always funny when they're like the critically acclaimed book. I'm like, critically acclaimed? I could ask 10 people right now.
What language?
And they wouldn't know. I don't know one person that could name this.
So I thought it looked cool. Hopefully it's a little more action RPG than Souls-like. Maybe I'll get my hands on that one. Next day's show, Dead or Alive has new projects coming out. Dead or Alive 6, Last Round, is the definitive edition of the 2019 title. Not much to say about that. I don't really play Dead or Alive. If you guys are interested in it, leave your thoughts down below. Legacy of Kain. Ascendance, the first new Legacy of Kain game in over 2 decades, is coming out next month. The first new game of the franchise since 2003 will be released on March 31st, 2026. It's a side-scroller platformer where you'll play as Kain, 2 forms of Raziel and Elith, and it's reminiscent of the PS1 era 3D style games, and then as well as they're going to be doing a remaster of Legacy of Kain Defiance, which comes out on March 3rd. So I think that's always cool. Legacy of Kain was a franchise I remember playing back in the day. I didn't really get into all of them, but was that a franchise you ever got around with?
No, I didn't get I remember hearing about it, but I had never had a chance to play them. I think I kind of missed my age bracket just a little bit.
Hey, just a touch. Next is Darwin's Paradox, which lets you become an octopus who wants to find their way back to the ocean. As far as I can tell, will be released on April 2nd, and if you're interested in it, you can check out the demo on February 13th and unlock a special Metal Gear Solid themed sneaking mission as a real decoy octopus. I thought that was really cool because I remember they were showing some of it, like the box sneaking.
Yeah.
This game looks pretty cool.
I thought it was pretty interesting. You're just using the octopus and you're trying to stealth by. The Metal Gear one, they're soldiers, but then it cuts to, I think, what the actual game is, and you're in the ocean. I think there's an electric eel or something like that behind the plant, and you're trying to sneak past them. I'm like, this looks pretty cool and different. I actually really like the look of this one. Again, a Konami banger.
Another Konami classic, and again, a game coming out later this year. Next, they have Yako Shinobi Ops aims to redefine Shinobi action. It's Yako Shinobi Ops is a next-gen 4-player co-op stealth experience that redefines Shinobi action. It features tactical top-down gameplay, and players will need to master the art of infiltration if they hope to complete their mission. It looked cool. I mean, I don't know if I'm getting it day one. How'd you like it?
I actually was really stoked about this one. I thought it looked really cool because I love stealth gameplay. So I know that can be infuriating sometimes trying to play and work that out with other people. But sometimes that's part of the fun. So provided that's really what it is, and it's not just one of those, okay, stealth is done, I'm just going to go gung-ho and kill everything now. I think that'd be really cool. I was super interested in that one.
Nice. So maybe when that comes out, we'll give it a go. The next one on the list is Crimson Moon, which is a gothic action-adventure RPG that wants you to defend humanity from hell. Crimson Moon, the upcoming gothic adventure game, headed to PS5, Xbox, and PC in 2026. Wants you to become a half-human, half-angel hybrid to defend humanity from hell's demons, undead, vampires, and hell-growth abominations. Yeah, that's a crazy game.
when I saw it, I thought it was kind of like Darksiders. So it's like this big hulking knight. I was like, okay, like maybe it's a cool little co-op Darksiders or something like that. Craig will love this.
And it kind of has an old school look to it, so I do like the aesthetic. Not that it looks old, it just kind of looks like an old school type of game. So yeah, definitely something I would like to play. Yeah, make me a half human, half angel, kicking ass. I can't ask for more than that.
I think I'll try it.
Yeah. Next thing they have on the list is Brigadine Abyss, which is the next entry in the Fantasy War strategy RPG series. It looks cool. It comes out later will be released on PS5 later in 2026. I don't know much about the series, so there's not much more to say other than it looked nice.
I barely played my first strategy game in the last 5 months, so I think I'm tapped for a while.
So as of right now, that's everything I have on the list. Was there anything that I missed on your list?
Yeah, you missed one really, really big one to round out the Konami Hour of Power, and that was Silent Hill Townfall is their next big Silent Hill game. It's coming out in 2026. This does say it is a PS5 and PC exclusive, so it's like a console exclusive, whether that means forever or kind of like how Silent 2 was for a while, and then now that's out on console. It looked pretty cool because you're using this weird device. It looks a little bit older. It's almost kind of like a CRT device.
Yeah, I don't know why that's not on that list, because now that you're saying that, I remember that trailer. The guy picks it up,
Yeah, and so either way, it looked pretty cool. I'm not crazy big into Silent Hill as much as I play horror games. I kind of missed those when I was younger, and then they didn't really do anything for a while. That now that they're kind of all coming out, I'm like, okay, cool. I've got plenty to try and play, because I'd like to do, there was the other one, Silent Hill F2, and so eventually maybe some point this, so I'm just glad to see them doing something, and it looks good. It's a good looking game, so hopefully it kills it.
Yeah, so that brings us to the end of everything they had. Again, lots of stuff. It's definitely worth checking out. Lots of good games, a lot of some good exclusives too for PS5. For a lot of people thinking, Sony's been slacking. This 2026 will have a lot of games. Is there anything missing? Because a lot of people were kind of hoping that we got to see FF7, the Part 3.
Rebirth.
We didn't get that.
Not Rebirth, sorry, that's the second one.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 4 wasn't on there.
Thank God.
Intergalactic wasn't on there. I mean, I don't think we needed it. I mean, I'm sure as we get closer to those games, they'll pop up. But for me, I mean, I gave it, if we're giving it scores, I gave it a solid 8.5. I think because there was enough there for everybody, this is what Sony, even if you didn't like the game, this is what Sony should be doing, is they have so much IP, they should be full of bangers like this, and there was so much coming out in 2026. Did you like it as much as I did or no?
I kind of give it a 7. I could understand giving it a little bit higher, but I feel like the ending kind of just fell flat, because I have them here in order, so for those of you who haven't watched it yet, it started off really strong with Kenna, Ghost of Yotei, Dark Souls, Death Stranding 2, you could take out that, but some more 4-loop, Pragmata, Resident Evil 9. That's the first 5 games. So those are all pretty big bangers, just to end on a God of War trilogy remake announcement, which is hype, but no gameplay, no nothing else, no timeline, no nothing, and then end on the here's our little side-scroller game. So I felt like that kind of just really took kind of the wind out of their sails. That, and I guess it depends on what you're into, because towards the end, Soros, I guess, would be their big game, and Marvel Tokon. But Marathon, I think's just been nothing but problematic, and then John Wick before that. So I felt like they started off super strong and then ended a little bit flat. But I agree, this did have something for everybody. I think the game that maybe I was surprised to not see here is I thought for sure by now we'd probably see something like Wolverine related.
Yeah, Wolverine was another game people were looking for.
Because that one, it's been kind of bad stuff on the background. We haven't really heard too much about it, so who knows what's going on with that. I thought this would be their big, okay, this, we're going to show it off, maybe not be the star of the show, but at least we're here, we're going to show you that we believe in this vision, and this is what's going on with it.
Yeah, maybe they'll do a state of play maybe closer to summer or early fall or something, and it'll have some of that stuff. But yeah, other than that, what...
I was I don't think that it needed to be there. I'm surprised that it's not. This thing was definitely full. They didn't need to do anything.
I think that at some point, though, they need to show Intergalactic sooner than later, because that game needs to get shown some gameplay, because there's so much criticism behind it. But we'll deal with that moving forward. So guys, anything else on the state of play?
No, definitely check it out. There was a lot of interesting stuff in there, and either way, just made 2026 way more packed than it already is.
And that's just the good Sony stuff coming in. So guys, leave down below your thoughts on all the games that came out, your favorites, most anticipated things, best things that you guys got to see. So with that done, guys, we're gonna get into what are you up to? When Andrew and I take a second and talk about anything we've been watching and anything we've been playing before we end the show, so we can kind of give you, just a dabble into what we've been up to. So Andrew, my friend, Anything you've been playing? Anything you've been watching?
I've not watched anything because I've been too busy with baby duty, so I just having a hard time getting some stuff started. I did finish Final Fantasy VII Remake. I really liked it a lot. It was really good, and it was just super nice to kind of cruise through. Like,
100% it?
No, I did not,
okay.
because there's one where you have to go through and get, like, different dresses for Eric and Tina and stuff. And so I did 2, and then I thought I had it saved a certain way to where I could go back and do the 3rd one again, but then it didn't go through, and so then I did a mission and it didn't go through again. So I'm like, bro, if I have to redo all 3 of these again for no reason, I was like, I'm just fucking done. I'm done. Like, it just made me so mad that I'm like, I'm not even gonna do some of these other easier ones. So I did go through and do, like, the DLC 2 with
Goofy?
yeah, which was
Intergrade?
Intergrade, which was pretty cool. I don't think it was anything, like, super special, but maybe
Some cool new characters you get to see.
I think I liked it a lot, but I think what kind of bugged me is, like, some of those the super boss guys, or, like, the other big boss dude that you fight at the end, go off the deep end design wise, and they're a little too Kingdom Hearts design for me, where I'm like, all these belts and buckles and everything. I'm like, okay, like, that's not what I care for, but I actually really liked it a lot, and she's an amazing character. Like, I love seeing her. She's just so funny.
Yeah, fun.
So, something else that is out now too after I finish that is there is a demo for Pragmata. Get out there and play it. It is not that long. I think I beat it in like 20 minutes.
Oh, cool.
Or 15 minutes.
I thought it was way longer. Okay.
I thought it was way a lot longer too, but it was pretty short. So you get to get a feel for how the gameplay is. So I've seen it in action, obviously, from watching the and any of the trailers or anything, but playing it is different, so it's pretty cool. They have like a board on here, because I don't think we ever explained it in depth on here. So let's say there's the green fight pieces here, so you can fight enemies and you can damage them, but what you want to do is almost put them into like a break status, and so you're moving while you're aiming with like X, Y, A, B, you're moving around this almost like grid trying to get it to this spot. Now there's some danger segments where it'll like pause you and make you have to restart. There's other spots, there's like a shield down, so you don't have to hit that. You could just come straight to the break, or if you go through the shield down, it will actually lower their defenses and hurt them even more before you get there. So it's just super interesting. I really liked it a lot. I think it's just really cool to see them doing something, Capcom again, doing something different with just a different gameplay. They could have just pumped out a shooter that has this cool like sci-fi element, because I really like Hugh, the astronaut guy, and then Diana's like the little girl android. She like rides on your back the whole time. I really like their dynamic a lot. It's really cool. I was already like on board, but after playing this, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm super in. I thought maybe it would be a little more problematic for me as far as the combat's going, because while you're solving this puzzle, they're still attacking you. So if I'm fighting someone and I'm trying to break this dude's puzzle, there's another guy right here coming in at me too. So I'm trying to like figure it out and decide who I'm going to like try to kill first. Try it out. I think you'll like it.
Okay, but 20 minutes. I thought I saw something online, and if somebody was doing it for like 40 minutes or an hour and a half, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do that. But if it's 19 minutes.
Maybe if you do like the hard mode, I just did it on the casual just to kind of like try it out first and see if I would even like the puzzle combat. And I just cruised through. Like, it was super fun. I really liked it a lot.
Nice. Definitely check that out. As far as what I've been up to, watching-wise, I just finished Fallout Season 2, which it was on Amazon Prime. It had 8 episodes in it. It ran from December 16, 2025. It ended on February 4th, 2026. It's a real solid show. If you're not familiar with it, but you know the game, Season 2 kind of leans more into the New Vegas stuff, and it's kind of hard to talk about it because you don't want to give anything away, but all the characters kind of go in a new direction that was surprisingly well, because they were moving away. Some people were having issues of going, oh, they're not going to be together for a while. But it did work. It did something different, because Amazon Season 1 did a binge release where they did all the episodes at once, and Season 2 did it week by week. So the initial numbers weren't as good because it wasn't upfront everybody binging it. But at the end of the day, it has a better Rotten Tomato score than Season 1. It's a 97 versus a 93%. So if you've been on the fence about it, it's all out now. And I would say check it out, because it's a lot of cool kills. A lot of things I've been reading online is the Fallout fans are like, yes, they did that right. Yes, they did that right. So when you finally get around to watching it, I'd be curious of what your thoughts are on it.
Now that it's all out, I'm going to binge it.
Yeah, there you go. And as far as what I've been playing is, I started playing Luigi's Mansion, which is the GameCube version on the Nintendo Switch 2 that I'm playing. Yeah, it popped up on there, and I was like, I've never got to play Luigi's Mansion.
So good.
And it's awesome. Yeah, it is the third video game in which Luigi is the main character instead of Mario, which is after Mario is missing and Luigi's hammer toss. Players control him as he explores a haunted mansion to rescue Mario and battles ghosts by capturing through the vacuum cleaner supplied by Professor Egad. Now, what was a pain in the ass in the beginning is there's no way to control switch the axis on the way you look. So I don't play invert like that. And I'm like, dude, and I could do it, but I'm going slow and I'm getting hit. And I'm like, dude, there's got to be a way to change this. And I forgot if you have the if you're playing on the Switch 2 version, you can go into the controls, and so the game won't let you do it, but Nintendo Switch will let you will remap the button. So I got past fighting the baby, and I got past getting fire, and I'm like, okay, and I had to stop playing it. I'm like, okay, so I finally got the control switch. I'm like, yes, so now I'm cruising through it. So hopefully I'm done with that by the time we record next week, which has been a lot of fun. As far as what else I've been playing? I just beat Final Fantasy 2 on the Game Pass, but I won't dive into that. I wrote a little something on Instagram, so if you guys are interested in checking that out or playing it, it's on the Game Pass. You can definitely do that. I just started Romeo is a Dead Man. There's 8 chapters. I'm on chapter 5. I'll dive in more of that. I should have that done by the time we do it next week. So the other game I'll say that I've been playing is Atlas Fallen, which is on the Game Pass. I've been playing that with Dante, and I've always wanted to check it out. It always looked kind of cool.
Told me you guys were playing something.
Yeah, and Atlas Fallen is an action role-playing video game developed by Deck 13 Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment. It's on every platform. Now, the original Atlas Fallen was launched buggy. Nobody liked it. It did really bad, and I remember starting to play it, and I stopped because I remember hearing all that. I guess now there's a massive free update, which is called the Reign of Sand, which overhauled the game into a much more polished AA experience. It features a revamped, faster-paced opening, improved voice acting, new enemy types, a revised combat system, and a new Game Plus mode. So Dante and I have been playing it. We play here and there because we play when he gets a chance to play. And fighting the monsters is cool. Exploring is cool. Getting all these new powers is really cool. Like, we're having a lot of fun. I haven't really picked up a game like that in a while and got on a headset with somebody. So we don't really know what the story's about. We're kind of blowing through the campaign. It's just more about getting together. Because what I like is because of the open world nature, it's more kind of sandboxy because you have these different biomes you'll go to, but they're big enough to where if you guys separate, one of you can go tackle this monster, one of you can go explore over here, so you don't necessarily have to be together. So we will find at times, he'll be like, all right, you go over there, I'll look for this chest, I'll look for this piece, because you can put different pieces of armor together, you can get different abilities, you can upgrade certain things, so there's a lot of mechanics to it, and it's very kinetic, it's very fast. Like, you can do double jumps, and you can do these dashes, and you're jumping over huge mountain gaps. So if you've never played it like I had it, or you were on the fence about it, it's on the Game Pass, and if you're looking for a 2-player game, so far it's been fun. We have had some bugs, though, where, like, somebody can't attack anymore, or today we finished the boss, but it didn't go away for him, so he was still stuck getting hit, and I'm, like, collecting all the rewards, so that's what we've been up to, guys. That's some of the fun we've been having. So, with that being said, guys, that brings an end to episode 226, guys. Join us next time on 227. And until next time, my name is Craig Perales. That is Mandrew Montemare. Cheers.
See you guys out there.